What is networking? So that's the big question. In this video, we are going to explain the networking and you're going to understand how it works, what types does it have, and at the end, I'm going to tell you the day-to-day networks that you already seen or you already used, but you're not mostly familiar with the way that they work. So let's get to the next slide and okay. Here you can see that I have two PCs and these two PCs are connected through a wire. This red line is a wire, and the definition of networking is the connection between two or more devices to share data, information, or hardware. For example, a printer. Let's say you have 5 computers and there is one printer. So you don't want to buy a printer for each computer. You want the 5 computers to be able to print the data that they want throughout this single printer. So networkings come to help in here. And let's go to the next slide. All right. We have two types that we can connect our devices. One of them is wired and one of them is wireless. In this video, we are going to focus on the wired connection. And in the next lecture, we are going to focus more on wireless. Now, I've already told you that this red line is the networking cable. Let's move to the next slide. Here, our networking cable will be connected throughout a network interface card. Each device should have a network interface card to be able to connect to the network. This network interface card, also called NIC, here you can see a picture that shows you a wired network interface card. The wireless network interface card is a bit different, and I will show you the picture and we will get familiar with it in the future lectures. So let's move to the next slide. Right now we learned that each device should have a network interface card to be able to connect to the network. Now the cable cannot directly be connected to our network interface card. To be able to connect to the network interface card, we need a connector. And the connector that will be used for our networking cable is called RJ45. Here you can see the picture of the RJ45 connector. And this will be patched at the end of our cable, and one will be patched here and one will be patched at this side. And then one end of the cable will be connected to the network interface card of PC1 and one end will be connected to the PC2. It will be connected through here. Then after that, we have the types of networks. I'm sure you have used all of these types in your house, in your office, or at any restaurant or anywhere that had a public network, but you didn't realize that you were using them. Now, the first type that we're going to talk about is mobile networks. And each of these types have their own lecture that we are going to talk about in the future. So the mobile network is going to be something like this. We have an antenna and it's going to be like this. I'm sure you've seen them multiple places in this city. And these antenna will be, this is something called sector. I'm using a mouse, so I'm not gonna write and mock myself. So these antenna are gonna send some radio, and your phone, let's assume this is your phone, which has a SIM card. This is going to be the SIM card inside your phone, and your phone is going to be connected through these radios and will be connected to this antenna. This is something called BTS. All right, so your phone will be connected to this BTS, and multiple other phones will be connected to this BTS as well. And we have multiple BTS throughout the city, and that way we can create a network and we can all communicate. Then we have the wireless. Let me erase the slide. Okay. Now we have the wireless. Let's assume this is a building, and wireless can be indoor or outdoor. So if this is an apartment, and let's assume here is your house, and here we have a table, and your access point is on this table. It have an antenna. Let's think this is the antenna, and the radio that it sends, you can connect to these access points throughout your phone. The range of this antenna is not much, and maybe it's just covers your house. So this is the indoor wireless, and we have an outdoor wireless. It will be something like this. So this will be used to connect two buildings, for example. And these do have more range than the indoors. So we will go deeper in the future lectures, but for now, that's the wireless. Then we have a VSAT. Let me erase the slide again. All right. Now we have VSAT, and VSAT will be going to use a satellite. So let's assume here is a satellite. My drawing is 10 out of 10. Okay. This is a satellite, and it is sending some radios. And here on Earth, and here on our building, let's assume this is our building, and we do have these things. Okay, so, and this is going to be something like this. This is going to be our LMB, and this is going to be something like this. So here we are using a satellite for our network. So we're gonna have some branches, we're gonna have some headquarters, and we can use these to create a network for ourselves. And maybe you say, does it matter? Should I know everything that we have here? Yes, as a network engineer or as someone that wants to be in the field, you should know what types of networks that there is. So you might be in a place that you do not access to the DSL, or you do not access to the mobile networks or other types of networks, and the only option that you have might be VSAT or might be wireless. So you should be able to make the best decision. Now that's VSAT, we're gonna have a lecture just for VSAT as well. All right, at the end we have DSL, which is most used because it's older and it's using the telephone cable. So most of the people knows it already. You might know it by the name of ADSL or ADSL Plus. So this is your home telephone cable. At the end of your home telephone cable, you have a connector called RJ11. It is a bit smaller than RJ45, and the home telephone cable is also thinner than the network cable that we use for our computers, then this cable will be connected to something called a splitter. This splitter will split the sound from the data. So the telephone cable is used for internet and telephone that you call someone at the same time. And the splitter will split that data from the sound. Then this splitter one cable, which is the telephone cable, will be connected to your telephone. Here, let's assume this is your telephone. And one other cable, which is also the RJ11 and telephone cable, will be connected to your modem. And this is your ADSL modem that you might already have in your home. Then after that, you can connect your computer through a network cable to that modem or access point. All right, that's the DSL. We just scratched the surface and we are going to dive deeper in each of these network types in the future lectures. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe and don't forget to like. Thank you. Bye-bye.